We have now interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you.
Okay, so welcome back for yet another installment of the Warheads. I am Apocalypto Joe.
I'm Roscoe Brown.
So
I'm sorry.
Y'all are an amalgamation of each other. That's what y'all are.
Stepping on each other's toes. Sister Kana and OG Zoe here helping us today. But before we get started, we always want to encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. But I wanted to ask you guys a question. Are you familiar with Steve Prefontaine?
Steve Prefontaine. No, I am not familiar with Steve Prefontaine.
Are you guys familiar with Usain Bolt?
I am familiar
Yes.
with that brother. Yes.
I thought you'd be familiar with him. Steve Prefontaine, he was in the 1972 Olympics. Broke all the long distance running records. Same as Usain Bolt. He broke that 100 and that 200 meter record. Both men can field stars, but one is a sprinter, the other is a marathon runner. And so that's why I bring you all here today. Because we're not just talking about marathon runners. We're talking about relationship marathon runners. The reason I bring this up is because we live in a world where we're having these micro relationships, micro transactions. You see a lot of people for years of their life, they've had multiple people in and out of their lives. It's almost as if they just can't hang in there. And a lot of times the significant other wants a long-term relationship, but the other person just doesn't have the legs. As good as Usain Bolt is, you think he could break Steve Prefontaine's records? Probably not. And so the question I asked is there a responsibility on the part of the relationship sprinter
I got you.
to inform the marathon runner that they lack the longevity required? In other words, people know when they don't have the skill necessary to be in a a long-term relationship. But they enter in pretending like they do.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if like honesty is required, like, hey, I can't really do this long distance thing, but I'm gonna try. And that'll put the other person on, alert. Or is it the responsibility of the marathon runner in the relationship to be patient and wait the other person out? You know when you have what it takes to be in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
But do you just jump in and hope that what this person is saying is true? Or do you wait them out to see?
No. And now I know what I was ready to say before I had my brain fart. But like I said, you want to actually. This thing is all about endurance. When you talk about the difference between marathon runners and sprinters, marathon runners, they have endurance. When you talk about relationships and we talk about marathon runners in that sense, we're talking about having stamina and endurance in a relationship. So when you ask the question, if that's something that the sprinter wants to tell that marathon runner in the beginning, you want to tell that person, and then it's up to that person who is the marathon runner to make the distinction, as to whether or not they want to stay with this person. It is incumbent upon that person to actually say that, I'm not one of those persons who's in it for the long run. I'm kind of a seasonal person. We've all heard the saying that Some people are here for a season, you know, or a season and a reason actually. But yeah, that's kind of what that is. Is some people are just here for a season and that's it. And those are the sprinters when you have the marathon runners who actually have the endurance to go the long haul. And that's pretty much it, you know. But yeah, they should that discussion should be had.
Oh no, I was, yeah. That's what I would say. I would say that it has to do with, I mean, it has to do with basically if, I mean, is that person worth it? Do you really want to wait it out? Because you might wait it out, and then in the end, it might be the bad apple, so to speak. You have to know what you get yourself into too. So it's kind of like a mixed bowl. You have people that, I don't know, they don't look at a relationship like it should. A lot of people don't take it as serious as it is. And what you're describing right now, like, is the new norm. Like, everybody hooks up with everybody. It's crazy. And yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of marathoners out there. It
No,
really
there
is.
are not. What about you, Kana?
This goes back to looking at people where they come from too. What they was raised, who raised them. A lot of people have parents that wasn't like that. Stick it out. Been married for 30 years, 40 years. You have those people who just love being in love or just love being in relationships. So they may have that marathon heart, you know what I mean? But when they see some BS, they be like, man, I see it a mile away and I'm about to dodge this bullet, like my cousin was telling me. Because I mean, this is a good conversation because I was just dealing with something like this myself. My thing is I am a marathoner at heart. But if I see something, I'll sprint out on your ass like I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't trying to run into you know what I'm saying? I'll be a marathoner. But I'm telling you right now, if I see, and that's wisdom though.
Yeah,
That's what
that's all
Proverbs
that is.
talks about. When you see a problem or if you see something, you don't stand there and wait for the dang on you. If you see something about the cave in on you, you don't stand there and let it fall on you. Move, get out the way, get out the way, nigga, get out the
Move,
way, get out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
move,
and it's
bitch.
not always that. Yeah, yeah, it ain't always that easy. But you know, as you mature and you learn to allow your mind, because see, women are very emotional. So, a lot of us run on that and that keeps us going like, I love him, I love him, I love him. But a brother ain't gonna do what a woman would do because some brothers will stay if they woman did something. But a man, he gonna be like, sis, I can't do that. I don't care how many times I cheated. You can't do that to me. I'm leaving you. Let a
That's
man's
because most of
woman
us are
come
on a
home
logical.
pregnant. Think about it. Yeah, a woman might think about it. So I think it just depends on a lot of things. There's different levels to this stuff, man. It just depends on, if you somebody that's desperate or don't know your worth or, all these little cliche terms they throw out there. It gotta be something to keep you going in that marathon way, but that don't mean it's healthy either. Just because you running that marathon don't mean you doing it for the right reason. You better
So,
sprint your behind out the way if you see something. You gotta use wisdom.
but what was that you just said, Zoe? I didn't hear you.
She said a lot of women. Well, most women do go off of emotion. We just go off of logic. That's how we're set up.
Right. I wanted to introduce. Do you guys remember that group
And
of?
y'all don't go off the feelings. A lot of times you hear women talk, they say, I feel, I feel, I feel. Y'all say, I think.
Yeah,
Well, men
right.
feel too. It's not totally
I'm not.
monolithic.
No,
Men,
but
I know.
your
men.
automatic is, I think,
Go ahead, Zoe.
your automatic is you think.
Yeah,
You stop,
like
think about it.
Yeah.
If you watch
exactly.
Kevin Samuel's show, you listen to the women 90% of the time, them women say, I feel like I
Oh
should be
yeah,
accepted. Because so, women,
that's what this whole generation is about. Is I feel
Yeah, they
literally
are, and we have to.
everybody's about feelings now, and it's like, yeah,
as
He
we
knocked me upside of my head, but I just feel like being a marathon runner. I'm just gonna stay in this abusive relationship and just let him knock me upside the head some more because I just love him.
yeah, we have to remember, even when it comes to relationships, feelings are not facts. So you can feel all you want, but that doesn't make it true. But there was a song that came to my mind. Y'all remember that group Loose Ends from back in the day?
Yeah.
Yep, I was just
Yeah.
listening to them the other day.
Where
That's
you
my favorite group.
is it that song "Hanging on a String"?
That's my favorite song. You got me hanging on strings, brother. What did you do it to me? God. Boy, and I'll be like, I don't know how long I can hang on to this string. You ain't gonna make me look like no fool.
I just wanted to share some of the lyrics, but it goes like, "I've been waiting oh so
He say
long."
I'm not the same thing.
He says, "I've waited oh so long," or she says, "I'm sorry, for you to come to me. What did I do wrong? It's all a mystery to me. Baby, I feel it too. What am I supposed to do? Maybe I've just changed, or can I be wrong for you? You got me hanging on a string now. I'm not your plaything. You got me hanging on a string now. I'm not your plaything." So, what this reminds me of when it comes to these marathon runners versus these sprinters, a lot of times these sprinters, they enter into a relationship and they do this thing called future faking. And
I
future
like to hear what that's about.
future faking is
Ain't no future in your front.
Yeah, I know, right? Shout out to MC Breed, by the way. Man, rest in peace to that brother.
West Side. Future faking is a courtship strategy which paints a detailed, wonderful future with somebody that they will have with their partner that is actually unlikely to happen. And so, what happens with these sprinters, they know they're sprinters, but they'll future fake you, keep you,
Ooh.
keep you hanging on that string, if you will, telling you that, yeah, we're going to have a wonderful future together. But behind the scenes, what are they doing? They're undermining the relationship. They're doing everything that destroys a relationship, be it the lying, the sneakiness, the cheating. They're not telling you that they're doing these things. They don't let you know that they're setting up other situations. But when you're face to face with them, they tell you with a bold face, "Oh, it's just me and you, baby. I just want you in my life." And so that adds, harkens to another question. Is it dangerous to pretend to be a relationship marathon runner, or is all fair in love and war?
Man, that is a good one. And I would like to say that all's fair in love and war, but man, there's codes and there's levels, and there's a respect to the game that you still have to have. The game being the ever living chase. Whether it be us chasing after them chasing after us, which more times than not is us chasing after them. But yeah, it's been always about that. But yeah, it just goes back to, again, people don't have the endurance and the stamina, to wait it out. And it's just incumbent on people to kind of just, as I always say in these things, you take your time to learn these people, and these are the things that you'll see, that time will reveal.
But you didn't answer my question.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is
I
it
might have went out.
dangerous? Is it dangerous to future fake someone? You know you ain't about that life, but you steadily dangling that carrot in front of them on that string. Is it dangerous to future fake?
Well, to answer,
Some it would be, for some it wouldn't be, but I want to know, in you guys' opinion, in your honest opinion. Like if somebody future faked you and you found out that they had no intention of really being with you, and you spent years with them,
Yeah.
would
No,
would you go postal, as they used to say?
yeah. Some people probably would. Some people probably would. And you know, you just made me think of Angela Bassett's character in Waiting to Excel. Waiting to Excel. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of what happened to her a little bit. You know what I mean? Like she was sold this whole bill of goods by this dude, and helped build this future with this dude, and she was saying her whole future was snatched from her. He was
No,
he was
no, no. I'm gonna disagree with you on this one
No, why you say that?
because she had the house, she had the car, she had the kids, she had the accounts, the money, you name it. You name it. Shirley Caesar. Shout out to Shirley Caesar. She had it all. Um,
Well, I mean, and I
And
get
she
where you're
still wasn't
going with it.
happy.
Yeah, there you go, Zoe. There you go.
what you say?
That the
But
happiness
it,
was.
but
but
she
I'm going
did.
against you
But
though. She
yeah,
brought
but
it
she
upon herself. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, what did
no,
you
but
say,
she
Zoe?
did. But see,
No, I just want. No, I'm sorry, Kana. I just didn't hear what Zoe said. That's all.
No, I say yeah. The happiness wasn't there, but she brought it upon herself too. I mean, in reflection of it all.
Okay.
Everybody has room to grow. You know what I'm saying? What's the problem is everybody wants it now. The more instant it is, the more they're for it,
and
and
that's
that's
why.
really what it is. We're
And,
we're flashy. Everybody's fake. Everybody's this. Everybody's that. We just go off of these personas when you don't know anybody actually when they're in their most comfortable setting, or you
and
do know them when they're in their most comfortable setting because they're fake.
And
Yeah.
that's why I don't agree with Angela Bassett's character in Waiting to Exhale. The reason
Yeah.
why is because she wasn't future faith. She actually did go through the process of getting married. She had her dreams fulfilled. It's just her husband, for whatever reason, fell out of love with her over time.
that's what I was gonna say.
But
Yeah,
when I'm talking about
because
future,
that's something.
when I'm talking, I'm going to give you the mic, Kana. Just give me a second. When I'm talking about future faking, you're still in that dating phase. You're trying to get to know this person, and some signs are there, but then you have these question marks, like what's really going on. But the person is like, it's going to be us, and you're hanging on to those words. You're hanging on that string. That's what I mean by is it dangerous? Because you want what Angela Bassett eventually was able to burn up and get divvied up in the divorce, minus the divorce. You want the happily ever after. But before you get there, that's where you have to determine if this person is a true marathon runner or just a sprinter pretending, a charlatan, if you will. Go ahead, Kana. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no, no. It's all good. I mean, I'm just listening because the more you talk, the more you just saying what I was thinking anyway. Which my point was going to be as far as these people who are faking the funk or faking the future with someone. These people you could see what's going on based on what they do. For instance, it don't take a man, you know what I mean, a long time to be with the woman he want to be with. He know, and she'll know before that woman will know. But like you just said, somewhere along the line, something happened, something changed. It doesn't necessarily mean they was faking. But is it dangerous? It could be dangerous depending on who that fool is. I mean, if you got somebody that underneath, some people won't even shout, scream, or anything at first. You won't even see anything. You would be surprised if they yell. You'd be like, "What? I didn't even know you had that in you." You don't know what they would do. So yes, it's dangerous. It can be dangerous because you can hurt somebody. You can cause a person to hurt themselves. You can cause somebody to commit suicide. You could cause somebody to kill you, or you could cause somebody to go and bust out your windows and steal your bank account money you've been saving all your life. I mean, one thing about women, they always watching, and a woman always knows. Don't get fooled. Women know. Women know. They just don't say nothing. Women know. Okay, they can play like a fool, but they know. They just don't do nothing. yet. You wake up and your whole bank account is gone. So don't think she don't know, or don't think she don't. And men too.
That's
And I
kind of
like to
happened to
tell
me
women,
before.
men. That's what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted. People know. People just don't. People just don't say nothing, because if you still loving on them, taking them out to dates and all that, y'all working it out. Okay, it's cool. But I know you cheating, because when we was making love last night, you didn't do something that you usually do, or you did something else that you wanted me to do, and you don't never really want to do that. But now all of a sudden you want to do it. I'm just saying, pattern changes are key. So I don't believe in this world of people don't know that. I believe that's a lie. I believe that people do see signs, but they just make justifications and they blind themselves to the stuff that they see. They got selective hearing and selective ways that they want to deal with you. That's all that is. I don't believe in I didn't know. I don't believe in that.
What you got, Zoe?
Yeah, it can be dangerous, man. We got a lot of crazy people out here. We got a lot of stupid people. We got a lot of fake people. So yeah, I mean,
Cause you,
and not
yeah, cause you could put somebody else's life in danger.
yeah, and yeah, exactly. Not to mention you put other people's life in danger because you're sending that person out there like that to other people because you don't want them. So now,
Hey,
and
hey,
then
Betty,
you
this is
complain about the
Diane.
people. You complain about the ones that you meet are damaged. Well, that's just you reap what you sow.
And
Because
that's
you're putting it out there. You're gonna get it.
and that's the point that I was hoping somebody brought out. I didn't really want to say it because I do think sprinters entering into relationships with marathon runners, I do think they know what they're doing. They were already cheating at the beginning of the relationship. They were already doing everything to undermine. And like you said, the dangerous part is you're bringing in other energy. And this person, they're looking for something real. They're looking for a marathon runner. So that being the case, I'm going to exclude sprinters because they're usually unhappy people on the inside. They don't really have what it takes. But I got 10 ways to add excitement to a long term relationship before we get up out of here. And the reason why I want to put this out here is because, often, like recently, I'm hearing a lot of people talking about how the person that they're with was boring. Usually people that say that something is boring or a situation got boring, those are usually the boring people because it takes two to infuse excitement into a relationship. So these 10 ways to add excitement to a long-term relationship for two marathon runners is this. Plan a simple surprise for them. You know, you have to play games. Maybe you can do some scavenger hunting with one another at home or at the park or whatever the case may be.
Or play cops and robbers with them, at the crib. That's always a fun game too.
That's a surprise as well.
Yeah.
Try a new hobby with one another. Just be adventurous. Do something adventurous. Schedule a weekly date night. One thing that a lot of couples do is when they settle into their relationship, they stop dating. You actually have to keep dating in a long-term relationship. It's not supposed to be about sitting in front of the TV and doing whatever. You have to date. Meet up at the bar or a club and role play or whatever the case may be.
The courting never stops.
It never stops. Book a romantic weekend. Do that at least every 2-3 months, to keep the fun and excitement going. Get active together. When you work out, endorphins and serotonin are throughout your body. And those are happy, feel-good chemicals that are permeating through the body. Do a questionnaire. Find out something new that maybe you haven't talked about in the past, and just typical conversation about your significant other. Socialize in a group. A lot of times you can learn a lot about your significant other because they'll open up about things you never knew of, and it makes the relationship just more sustainable over time. Write them a love letter. Yeah, you probably used to do that in the honeymoon phase. Keep that going. Look for things to appreciate. What's that? The 80-20 rule? Look at that don't focus on that 20. Focus on that 80 and write a love letter to your significant other about that 80. And compliment one another daily. I don't care if it's about their toes, their lack of nose hairs. You have to compliment one another to make somebody feel appreciated. And maybe not every day, but at least every other day. It should be a weekly thing, though. And so, with that being said, did you guys have anything to say before we get up out of here?
It gotta be in you. It can't be on you. I don't care what you do. I don't care how you try to please somebody. If it ain't in them, it ain't gonna work. Period. It ain't. It
Roscoe?
gotta be in you. Gotta be in you.
Roscoe?
Yeah, I know we ain't got much time left. So like, comment, subscribe, share. Come in. It's the Warheads with an X.
Hit that bell notification, everybody. Warheads.
Like.